Damn.
Think about the lesbians that like we look up to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Audre Lorde. We look up to like dead lesbians.
Legends.
The Dead
But
Lesbian
yes,
Society.
yeah, they weren't. Yes, they
Yeah.
weren't getting them to.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is Shana.
And Kris.
And we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right, this week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have per. P-E-R, not per.
Okay, thank you.
know,
I was
yeah.
over here like,
Per,
say it with your chest,
I know.
friend.
Per. Per. Per is a gender-inclusive alternative pronoun to he or she or they. It derives from person. My sentence or deeper dive is per is designed to be used when the gender of a person is unknown, irrelevant, or when someone prefers not to be identified with traditional binary pronouns. Per. Per. You don't have to say it like that. That's just me.
I feel like you do now. I feel like you
Y'all
do.
don't
It
have
feels
to do that.
right.
Don't be
It
me.
feels
Be better
right.
than me. Be cooler than
feels
me.
right.
Be
You
cooler
know,
than me.
we're doing great here. All right. My Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts stands for a romantic asexual, or even more simply, to put it in reverse, an asexual person who experiences romantic connection. My sentence says, my asexual friend asked someone out on a date last night. Look at my little Ace of Hearts go.
Now this sounds like a Nintendo 64 game for sure. You know,
Ace of
with a
Hearts.
dedicated fan base and
Was it?
probably
What was
a
that?
Twitch streamer. There was an ace.
What
There was
was-
something,
yes.
right? Wasn't there
Yeah,
something
and
of
it
hearts?
was like, yes.
Something of hearts. Let me look up.
Oh,
something
that's
of
like
hearts
that feels
game,
like a
'cause
deep Tumblr
of hearts
basis, but that was like
game.
when we were kids that this was a really
Yeah.
popular game.
But something of hearts though. Like
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
somebody is listening to this and yelling out the name of it, and they used to play it all the time, and we can't
Yeah.
hear you. We wish you were here to tell us because I'm envisioning it. I see it. It wasn't an Alice in Wonderland game. It was like a
Yeah, not
specific
that
King of
one.
Hearts.
King of Hearts. There it was. King of Hearts is a game. There we go.
Oh,
Because I was like, Ace of Hearts is a game, but not
did
what I'm
it.
talking about. King
King
of
of
Hearts.
Hearts.
There we
Wow, that was a
go.
throwback.
Wow. Yeah.
Because that used to be like, that got the people hooked.
Kingdom
Kingdom?
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. There we go.
People are like,
We were so excited.
Look, I
We
was
were
like,
like, we got it.
Kingdom Hearts. It's Kingdom.
They should have named it.
So
We
somebody
were close.
got it. Yeah, we got it. It's a
We made
king, a kingdom,
Yeah.
king's kingdom, kingdom of
got it.
hearts. You know,
It's fine.
Got it. It's fine.
It's
We
fine.
got it.
It's fine.
We got to
Good
it.
for us. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on to more important measures of that. Thank you for going on that journey with us.
Serious.
We have company. We are very excited to have this person on. We want to welcome Tribble, who's a comedian, host, producer, and catfish. Her words, not ours. She is currently a hosting producer on the popular podcast Ellis Ever After and the owner and executive producer at Ask Tribble Inc.
Tribble, welcome to the show. I feel like you've been up here in spirit before because we just love following you online. But welcome officially to Bad Queers Podcast.
Thank you. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. This is the whole reason why I've even been like trying to get my followers up, trying to get, you know what I'm saying, my gay icon status so that I could be a guest on Bad Queers. Like,
Is this the step? This is how you know you're on your way.
Like,
Wow.
This is the Oscars of like gay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
like
So, remember, like probably 10 years ago, before everything, it was like the Breakfast Club was the thing where you made it into Black community.
yeah, no, it's Bad
We're
Queers
kinda
Pod.
there. Bad Queers Pod.
Wow.
So Tribble, tell us where you're originally from and just your life growing up.
I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And people from the East Coast think that I sound Southern, which is weird. I don't think that I sound Southern, but Cincinnati is known as the northernmost Southern city, which is essentially just a dog whistle for yes, it is racist. Yes, Black and white people are segregated. No, we don't have any Mexicans here. That's what Cincinnati, that's what that means.
That's the best breakdown I have ever heard
Exactly what
of
that
the
means.
layout of Cincinnati.
Fully understands what you're saying. Yes, got it.
So, yeah, growing up, I'm the youngest of six, and the youngest of six in a black family where all of my siblings have a different combination of parents. So, I'm like my dad's only daughter biologically,
Hmm.
and still the youngest of the crew. So I was a crybaby for a long time until I
Mm.
learned that punching people in the face was pretty effective to stop bullying from happening. So
Hmm.
that's something I
Your
learned.
first
Yeah.
bullies are your siblings
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I was lucky enough to have, out of those five siblings of mine, a gay brother and a gay sister.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
And
I think
neither of
there's six of
them,
y'all, like
yeah,
statistically.
statistically,
It should be
It
a
had to be
couple.
another one.
Somebody, somebody else.
Statistically, I feel like only one of us should have been bisexual, but we got like an extra gay like gene or something. Like,
Mm.
if there's a researcher out there that wants to study the fucking genetics of homosexuality, start with our family because there's a gay gene in there somewhere. But my brother is my best friend, my gay brother. He's my best friend, and he's always been just the biggest F slur you could imagine since he came out of the womb. He played with Barbies. He loved Janet Jackson. He was a color guard. Um, and my gay sister is a stud,
Oh,
and neither of them went to college, which is black people, especially black parents that didn't go to college. Going to college is like their measure of like whether or not you're a good kid.
yeah.
And so I was like, if I go to college, I can be whatever kind of gay I want to be, and my parents will still love me because my parents were honestly a little upset with them. And I feel like every bad thing they did, they blamed it on them being gay. So once I came out to my parents, it was like after I had graduated from college, and my parents were like, oh, I guess it wasn't the gay.
Ooh.
I guess.
How about that?
Now you breaking generational
Damn.
stereotypes by being like, you know what? I'm going to be the one to get a degree and
Exactly.
plot
I
twist
did
the
it
fuck
for
out of
all
all
of
of you.
us.
It's so
Exactly.
funny.
I did it for us all, you know? In that way, I am both a homosexual and an ally.
Mm, mm. And are. That is amazing. How old are your queer brother and sister? Are
Yeah,
you,
they're
but what
both
are
older.
they ages?
My brother is 7 or 8 years older than me. He's
Okay.
in his, I'm not gonna say exactly how old because then people will know how old I am.
Oh,
And
it's
I
gonna mess with the
always
host.
like, yeah, it's gonna mess with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hoes. I like to
yeah.
reserve the
Mhm.
opportunity to lie about my age.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
and my
fair.
sister is
Reserve.
only 1 year older than me.
Okay. So your brother was like a pioneer. You got to see them
A
and get to
pioneer.
go through. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All you had to
Absolutely.
do was graduate from college. And most black parents don't even care what degree you have as long as like you complete it. They're like,
No.
okay, well, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, you complete it. They don't care how you paid for it.
At
That's
all. And
that's
don't.
it.
And don't actually.
My parents ain't never asked me if I got student loans. They ain't never asked how much the bill was. They like, you did it.
That's all that
Good
matters.
luck with the
We're gonna
rest.
be at we'll be at the ceremony. Let us know what day and time. We'll bring some
That's
Hell
food.
so
yeah.
funny.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah. But
So
I
funny.
left Cincinnati. I went to college in Columbus, Ohio. I went to Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
And after Ohio State, I moved to Chicago.
Hey.
After Chicago, I stayed in Chicago for 8 years. Chicago is like the best place to like grow up gay. Like, as I'm already an adult, I've spent so much of my time in the closet trying to like, I guess masking is a popular term. I was like masking as straight in
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. And when
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Chicago, I was able to be the gay version of myself, which surprisingly is not that much different than the straight version of myself, except, I'm a little bit more comfortable in my body. Um, so if you're listening and you're a gay and you want to get away from your hometown, go to Chicago. There, it's like gay hospitality there. They've got a gay welcome wagon ready for you. So I stayed there for 8 years and I moved to LA. I started doing comedy in Chicago. I started podcasting and doing radio there. Then I moved to LA because I'm like, dude, I've been doing comedy for 2 years. It's time for a movie. You know, it's time. It's time for an HBO special.
At least.
So I moved to LA and LA wasn't, I mean, it's LA. There's so much human feces on the sidewalks of LA. There's so much shit. I used to try to keep track of how many bare asses I saw
Mm.
unwillingly on the streets of LA.
Mm,
I lost count. That's how many it was. It was too many.
mm,
So I had to leave and I fell in love against my better judgment and
Mm.
moved to Rhode Island
oh,
for a
Oh.
that
year.
was a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a plot twist
Oh.
for us all.
Wow.
I think I had like some temporary like mental like illness happening
Oh,
where
love.
I didn't have good
Yeah,
judgment or
that's what
Yeah.
it's called.
good
It's
decision
love.
making. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the four letter, the 4 letter word.
Love,
It's
yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, yeah.
you know.
Moved to Rhode Island for love and then that didn't work out. And so I now I'm in where am I? Atlanta,
Mm, okay.
where it's the gay Mecca.
Yeah. The Black
Yeah.
gay Mecca. So
The
how is
black
that?
Yeah.
gay
So
Mecca.
Chicago, is that still number one in the places that you've lived as an adult?
Absolutely.
Who's number two? Is it Atlanta?
Chicago is number one. Number two, I don't think there's a number two yet.
Wow.
You know, LA
Yeah.
was cool because there's like Chicago. I love everything about Chicago. Even
Hmm.
Chicago's shitty weather.
Hmm.
It's just like it's the city still just it's unmatched. Even
It's
though
pretty great.
it's
It's true.
gray and cold for 9 months out of the year, it just doesn't matter. One, because hopefully for like 6.5 of those months, you're almost blackout drunk. That's
Mm.
how it works in Chicago. You're partying the whole time. LA had really great weather. I had fun in LA. The parties were
Hmm.
cool. But you can't really survive in LA unless you're a millionaire. Like you can't really like
Yeah.
be comfortable. You're always uncomfortable. And at some point the grind for me gets tiring. I don't like to grind. I like leisure, you know. I don't
Hmm.
I wish I
Yeah.
didn't have to work now. And the only reason I have a job that I love, I love what I do. I'm a horrible liar.
Yeah. I was like,
I
why
hate
you changing
working.
the
It
volume?
I
literally
hate
was
working.
like the turning away from the camera
Yeah.
as well to be like, hey,
So
I
you didn't want
love
AI to catch
what
it.
I do. Like
Just,
nobody was gonna catch.
just
This was
I
not
what
hate
I
gonna
working.
do.
be.
That's it. That's
Question mark.
the long and short of it. I hate working.
It's like you're glitching out, but it's fine. Yeah, you'd rather not work, but
But yeah,
yeah.
but I have a job that like I enjoy the idea of the job
Hmm.
because I knew that was the only way I would be able to survive and like support myself if I did something that I kind of enjoy doing and that I enjoy. I love listening to podcasts. I love the idea of podcasts. So, being a podcast producer is like the only job I can do. I can't or if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna apply to work at the post office. I want to work at the post office
Mm,
so fucking bad.
yeah. Do you have
So
the
bad.
calves for it?
I have the attitude for it. I don't think
Okay.
the calves are earned,
Okay.
Mm,
but I think
mm.
if
Okay.
you can just look somebody in the eyes who has
Hmm.
great intentions and just not care, about their day, not care about their problems.
No emotions.
No
No
emotions. You
emotions.
you actually hate them. If you have any emotion, it's like you hate their guts for just existing. I
I
can
just
do
want to mail
that.
this letter.
Yeah.
It's
You're
it.
like, oh, do you want to? I'm sure you do. You got to
Right.
be sarcastic. You got
You
to
do.
be, yeah, rude as
Yeah.
hell. I could do that job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so LA had great weather, unmatched. If I could put LA's weather in Chicago, I think it would be the perfect city.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like it.
Atlanta is cool. I always tell people Atlanta is a stick up. Every time you go outside, it's a fucking stick up. They want everything you have. They
Mm,
want your money. They want your soul. They want your life too because yesterday driving on the highway, I saw 6 car accidents.
mm,
They want your fucking life. in Atlanta. But there's so many Black people here, so many queer people here. You can't be mad. You're
Yeah.
like, if I die here, I mean, I guess.
This is
You
where
know?
closest to Wakanda, I guess. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
take
Exactly.
it. Yeah, there
Yeah,
are worse places to die. So hmm,
That's
it
absolutely.
true.
matters. It matters. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, you and Shayna know each other. So can y'all share your fun backstory and how you two know each other?
Yeah. Well, we have a mutual friend. One of our friends is like the most social person I've ever met in my life. She's so good at getting people together for literally anything. And
Mm-hmm.
so one year she wanted to get people together to go to Dinah Shore. And the year happened to be 2020, and it didn't happen in 2020. So we had to wait until the following year, 2021, I think it was, to go to Dinah Shore. They moved it to October. So, backstory to the backstory. The first time I saw Dinah Shore was on The Real L Word
Mhm.
back in the day. And I was like, man, I gotta go to Dinah
When
Shore.
you were a child, because you don't want to reveal your age.
Exactly. I
So
was so
that show,
Yeah.
young.
you were so
I
So
was
young.
young.
So
so young.
So
Yeah.
young.
before,
Yeah.
I like
No.
accidentally switched the channel from Nick Jr.
yeah,
to Showtime. Yeah.
naturally,
Yep.
naturally.
Yeah.
That's how you learn English as
Yeah.
well. So the real
Exactly.
Albert is how you learn English as a 5-year-old. So
Yeah, that's right.
mhm.
So we went to Dinah Shore. I drove down from LA, and as soon as I got to the Airbnb, I was like the first or second person there. And I had a meeting with my boss, and I got fired from my job
Jeez.
as soon as I got there.
Oh my God. I totally forgot about that.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, the no, I'm gonna let you continue because the more that the story goes, it just all of it makes sense as it
Yeah,
comes back to me that we talk about this
yeah,
and why the
yeah,
I
weekend
know
was the
these
way it was for you.
new revelations that
yeah.
are happening live.
Yeah, I get fired from my job. You know, you got to play it cool when you get fired because you're like, these people think that I'm horrible. Like, I can't be emotional. I got to just take it on the chin. But I was like distraught, very heartbroken because the situation around the firing was like kind of fucked up, but whatever. So I get fired. I also didn't have tickets to Dinah Shore
Hmm.
because even though this job, they thought they were better than me, they weren't paying me enough for me to be able to pay my rent and enjoy my life. So I didn't have tickets to Dinah Shore. I emailed, I think our friend convinced me to email them to see if they had any like tickets available, and they did because 2020 was so hard on white people. Somebody had left weekend pass for any person of color who didn't have a
Oh,
pass. So I was like,
man.
being black
Wow.
wins again, honestly.
Yeah. But only in 2020.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Only
I
around
don't
the
even
Black
know.
Square. Somebody did that
Yeah,
on Black Square Day. They said, you know
Yeah.
what?
exactly. Yeah, they probably bought their tickets like the year before and did that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, so I proceeded to get so wasted the rest of the weekend. The first night, I cried on the phone with my best friend for like what seemed like forever at Dinah Shore outside the hotel, just weeping because I just got fired from my job. And maybe that night or the it was probably that night, night one, we had so our Airbnb was a big house that had a big pool and a hot tub, and the hot tub was like surrounded with like concrete wall, and there was a wall, a brick wall behind the house that separated our yard from the next yard. And after we had gotten back from Dinah Shore festivities, I heard some parlance across the way, and I was like, I wonder if this is people from Dinah Shore. I get really like I'm obsessed with people, and it gets really bad when I've been drinking. I'm like I gotta talk to everybody. I need to know what's
Hmm.
happening with everybody's life and shit. So I attempted to look over the wall, but what I didn't realize is that there was a huge like space between the wall and the hot tub that I was standing
Mm.
on. And I stepped right down into that space, and the space was filled with like knives, glass, vines. It cut my foot
Fuck. It's like,
open. My
wow.
foot was gushing blood.
Wide
I
open.
probably should have gotten stitches, but I did not.
Jesus.
I still have the worst scar in the world on my foot from this. So the
And
next
this was
day,
still night one.
This was
this was
night one, friend. And
yeah.
mind you, I'm
Horrible
sitting
stuff.
in the hot tub as she has decided to climb up and see what's happening. And I'm over here like, this is a terrible
Oh,
idea.
jeez.
But the wall also, it wasn't like she was walking like a singular brick thing. Like
Mhm.
it was thick. So we were like, okay, maybe. Think about when somebody falls and they just completely disappear. Like you did not realize how far the fall was. And it was like she was there and she was gone. And we freaked
Oh
out
my God.
It was
as
so
we're
much
in the
deeper
hot
than
tub.
we could have ever imagined.
So much deeper. Like trying to
Oh
get her
man.
out was such a process.
You had to get out of the hot tub.
We had to get out. We're
Get
trying to figure out how to like
you're
pass
gushing
her
blood.
body
Just
to other
like,
people, but not get blood in either the hot tub or the pool. How do we
wow.
move with it?
People were screaming. I think
We
somebody
panicked.
cried.
No,
I
somebody
bet you disappeared
was,
and it's just a
I
bloody
forget
mess.
who it
Like,
was, but they were terrified for you. And I feel like it was like myself, my ex, like we were the calm, cool, collected ones that were like,
Yeah.
if y'all don't just get her over here and we'll find a first aid kit and we will get this like set up.
it's crazy.
And there
That is
was a
nuts.
first aid kit. There definitely
Oh,
was.
Thankfully. Shout
shout out
out
to
to that
that
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Airbnb host.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Hmm.
But we had a good time. That was the first time we met. We talked about Chicago. I think you had just moved
Nowhere to go
there.
but up after that, I guess.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my
Hmm.
ex had just moved there. So I hadn't moved there yet, but
Mm.
she had. And she had been there for a couple months and then came out to visit. And that was the first time that we had seen each other since she had moved. So
Oh
that
yeah.
was all of our conversation.
Yeah, long distance, lesbian love. I think
It's the thing.
I feel like as lesbians, we should do master classes on how to do long distance relationships.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because we haven't mastered.
Yeah, we do. We really
Yeah.
do. Yeah, because it's honestly too, I think lesbians we have the delusion around romance mastered. And
Yes.
when you're not in the same city as somebody, the delusion can go on forever.
Forever.
I got somebody, okay? I could call them,
Okay.
text them right now. So everything else in your head, you could just kind of, you know, fill in the blanks. So, and it's so funny when you're long distance with somebody and you're like explaining it or just talking about it to somebody else, and it's really the most insane things you'll say where you're like, yeah, I was on the phone 11 hours last night, but I just
Right. You just walked around the
Yeah.
whole day on the
still,
phone?
and they're like, obviously
FaceTime?
with lesbians too, like, still, y'all still do that? It's like, yeah. So, I mean, it's nothing. It's just what we do.
Yep.
So,
Or it'd be
Yeah,
like
it is.
on a whim.
not healthy.
Man, I miss you so much. Let me just go ahead and book this flight today. I'll
Right.
be there tonight. I'll
This
be there tonight. All of a sudden,
crazy price,
that's
overpriced.
that's the
flight.
sub level of the lesson is how to maintain your finances without maintaining your finances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if credit cards had commercials around lesbians using their credit cards, using their points and just racking it up, but somehow I've never really heard a lot of people be like, I've maxed out my credit card going to visit this person.
No.
We
Because
maintain it somehow.
also lesbians have great like financial responsibility, I think. I think that is where the masculinity comes in. It's the knowing how to pay your credit card bill. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
think that's the femininity that we lack. Because I feel like that's often a girl problem. Or like straight couples, they'll be like, the husband will be like, oh my God, she never pays
She
the
went
credit
shopping
card bill.
again.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas lesbians are like, I've got a 750 credit score and I've got, all of these points on my Amex. Go if you can travel with lesbians, please do it because one of them is going to be able to book that hotel for a price
Right? Like
you've
get it for a
you've
bargain.
never imagined. Yeah,
You're in the penthouse. You get your own robes when you walk in. They've been embroidered. And they're like, I got it for a steal. I got it for a steal. Just Venmo me
yeah,
later. It's fine.
yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
I love this. Well, not only do you get to talk about relationships for your work as well. So we said this in the intro, but you get to produce the Ellis Ever After show,
Yeah.
which I just feel like you are honestly doing the work for the people by being the queer person in
Mm-hmm.
the room that kind of
Yeah.
just like it's like you tell them to calm down with your stories. And it
Yeah.
brings
Yeah.
me joy when you get to do that. But you also talk a lot about relationships on the show, married and single. And also, because they're a heterosexual couple and you're homosexual, I feel like there should be a lot more misses when y'all are talking, but there's a lot of alignment in there. So when
Yeah.
you're talking about like love and couples and relationships and things that go wrong, what are like the main trends that you see amongst all of us?
Man, that's really good. So I will say first that when I first started working on this show, I didn't want to because I'm like, straight couple, what the fuck? And I'm
Right.
not, I don't have anything in common with these people. And then I started learning so much from them as a couple. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I think a lot of the things that we have in common are the emotional things. Like there's never a couple where both people are like emotionally equal. Like there's always somebody, one person in the couple that's gonna be a little bit more emotional than the other person. And in straight couples, they always assume that it's the woman. And in this couple, the Ellises, it's the husband. So it makes it more clear that it's just like, it's not a gendered thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like who you are innately, maybe how you grew up. We talk a lot about like how our childhoods and what we've seen growing up affects how we are in relationships. And so I think Kadeen grew up more with like not a lot of affection, not a lot of like talking about your feelings, whereas DeVal was always given the space to talk about his feelings and to have feelings. And he is a feeling ass nigga, which I I appreciate. I appreciate. Something that I discovered working on this show is that they have a lot of lesbian couples in their like fan base.
Mm,
Mm.
So
I can see
many
that.
lesbian couples. And I think that lesbians often, especially black lesbians, we often perform heteronormativity
Mm-hmm.
in our relationships. So there's, the stud femme dynamic, and there's always the idea that one person has to be the provider and the other one is going to be the caretaker, or the other one is going to be the nurturer. For me, that's something that I know aligns for some people, but it doesn't necessarily align in the way that I am in relationships. So sometimes
hmm
that can be like, okay, one and yes and type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's mostly the emotional part where one person has to adjust to the emotions of the other.
Cool. How did you get involved with them producing the show?
Yeah, so I was working at Stitcher podcast company, and I had gotten my first radio job, and this is the actual reason I had to move to LA. They found out I was working on the radio, and they just basically hated on me, and they were like, you have to move to LA. I was still in Chicago at this time. So they were like, you have to move to LA or New York if you want to keep this job. And I was like, well, what I want to do is I want to produce, and I wasn't a producer at the time. So I was like, if I'll move if I can get a producer job. And so they were like, all right, you can interview for a producer job in LA. And the show that they had just started, on the team that I was interviewing for, they had just started producing Ellis Ever After, which at that point was called Dead Ass. And so I got that job, and I started working with them on their second season of the show. And I thought they were great. I just thought they were super talented. They have such a good, like, they got beautiful spirits, as Glorilla would say. It's two beautiful spirits. And I really enjoyed working with them. They enjoyed working with me, but I didn't realize how much, because once they left Stitcher to go to iHeart, they took me with them. And I
Mhm.
was not expecting that at all. I was just like, well, shit, I'm gonna be out of a job then. But they took me with them. And so during the pandemic, when we started recording from home, they would like fly me down to Atlanta to record at their house, and like I would stay at their house for a couple of days to record. And so then we kind of just formed like a family, like a
Mm-hmm.
team that is made up of friends and people, and we got to know each other very intimately, and we kind of just built from there.
Yeah. What is it like
So
to be the on the face part side of it? Because for a lot of producers, it's just behind the scene, you're organizing, you're making the podcast run, but you get to have the opportunity to actually be representation. And also I love how openly queer you are on the show as well. It was
yeah.
like down to your hats even, and just the stories that you talk about, and even in the way that they converse with you, like they're so inclusive with how they talk, and it seems like they're incredibly educated around the LGBTQ community as well. So what is it like to be that face representation and to be the representation for the queer community on a straight facing show?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I spent a lot of time. So I started working with them in 2019 on the show. So we've been doing this for 6 years. And I spent most of that time behind the scenes. This past season was my first season as a permanent guest host. And I had started to become a little bit more visible, like on Patreon. I've been on the after show for a while. And I would always talk about being queer because the show is so much focused on male female relationships. And when we started going on tour, I would notice that there was a lot of like lesbians in the audience. So I'm like, they are looking for guidance from a couple that's been married, that like has all of the success, that has their finances in order, that really do have answers for them as people that want to be coupled. But at the same time, I know that all of us are looking for representation of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I know that Black people, queerness is something that, you know, Black people can be a little bit afraid of and misinformed about. Like, so many people, so many Black people who are even people who were in my life, because once you say this bullshit, you gotta go.
Mm,
But Black people for the last couple years have been saying, like, gay niggas is ruining the Black family. Like, no, actually, bitch, you're not even married. You don't have no kids. You're ruining a Black
Ain't even trying
family.
to get married.
Right.
Just
that's the
what?
part.
Hello. Even going back to what I said about my own family is like establishing a sense of normalcy, in a queer person. Sometimes it just takes somebody to see that.
Yeah.
It takes someone to see straight people that they admire in community with a queer person to be like, oh, maybe it's not weird. Maybe I'm weird for thinking that it's weird.
Hmm.
And it's always important for me to just be able to be myself
Mm-hmm.
in any space. I don't want to have to like straight fish anybody. I'm not doing that. I don't want niggas in my DMs. A lot of it is just keeping niggas at bay. Like, I don't like you. Don't even try it. They still do,
Hmm.
but at much lower rates. But it's been really good. I've been able to make some really good connections through Ellis Ever After, and people reach out to me all the time to be like, I'm glad that your voice is on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And as a queer woman who is not married to the man on the podcast, I can disagree with him and in the way that his wife wouldn't, in the way that another woman who wants to be seen as feminine wouldn't, maybe. And so I have a lot more freedom, I think, in queerness. And people do appreciate that. People appreciate the fact that I'm not always like, yeah, sure, you're right, you know. So yeah, it's been a really cool experience.
How long did it take to kind of build the trust with them where maybe you listened to a conversation and there was a take or a part of the discussion where you're like, we're not releasing this, or maybe we want to word this differently because you know what it could do, online. Like how soon did you reach that point with them where, they did trust your voice and guidance?
I think that it was pretty immediate. I think the kind of people that they are, they know that they don't know everything. And
Mm,
so they're always open to hearing another opinion. Plus, as a producer, I always come to every episode with research. So I always provide them the facts-based information about what we're talking about. And so to them, that then established me as a trusted voice
Mm-hmm.
that would then help them to help their voice to be validated in public. And so they just have always respected that role. Um, and I think that's honestly what has helped them to trust my voice in other ways, is because they know that I'm always going to do the research. I'm always like looking for what's true, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what's trending.
Yeah.
Um and it's their opinions are based on their own experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they never really want to talk out of turn about things that they don't know. And they're always open to being corrected, um, and just maybe even redirected in ways where, they may not, they have like a knowledge gap of some kind. So I think it was pretty immediate. And then getting to know me, and like DeVal, he loves to debate. He loves to fucking argue. And he knows that he can get me to debate him on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And these private conversations we have, they're candid, you know what I'm saying? They're not edited. We don't have any qualms about um maybe even offending each other, because we know that it's for the sake of the debate. We want to learn something from each other, and we also want to possibly get the other person to see our point of view. And so there are those times when the mic is off, where I'm like, bro, if you ever said this on the mic, like I don't think that would be good. And vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some of the stuff that we've put out lately. I'll see comments where people are like, somebody commented, what they say, stay away from women like this, talking about
Oh.
something I said. I was like,
Because you hate
please
men.
do.
So
Right. You're like, thank you.
Please
You got the
do.
message clear. Thank
Yes,
you. Stay away from
exactly.
me.
Thanks. Yeah.
frame that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
And there have been times in the past where we put out episodes that people then kind of misconstrued what they were saying, or like
Mm-hmm.
made assumptions about a 30-second clip that is just not, because as a couple, they spent like the first like 14 seasons arguing with each other about just ways they didn't see eye to eye. And so sometimes those conversations were real arguments in real time about things
Mm,
that they were like, "Oh, really?" Like things that they hadn't quite discussed in depth.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had those moments where it wasn't well received by the audience because maybe it was misconstrued, or maybe people had their own opinions. But what helps is that it's being able to put things out and appreciate the debate around it,
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that people are going to have their own opinions. Nobody is in their relationship or in their head, and everybody is allowed to think what they think. That's like extremely helpful in that case.
yeah. And that's a great perspective to have too. I think people forget when they're consuming certain content and people have such a strong opinion. Like we see it because we
Yeah.
talk about all
Yeah.
sorts of controversial topics, and folks are just like, well, that's wild that you think that, or how could you in this? And it's like, this is just us talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And when you can sit and appreciate the different perspectives, it's like, yes, because this is not your life. This is an experience from two queer folks from Virginia who have both lived on the West Coast and are talking about queer life as we've experienced it,
Right.
and built the space to just be like, let's have these imperfect conversations because everybody's experience is different. And I think that's a really cool experience that you all have created as well.
Yeah, yeah, yep, exactly. And we have those moments even between us now that I'm like a guest host, where my experience is totally different because there's five of us on the show, and I'm the only one that's queer. I'm the only one that's not married. And so the assumption is always like I should listen more than I talk when it comes to
Mm,
like talking about what it takes to be married or relationships or whatever. But I'm always gonna have my own opinion because I we have different experiences,
Yeah.
and it does take a level of like understanding and learning, and even just humility for any of us to kind of let go of what we think and to listen to the other person. So it's really fun. It's very active. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And speaking of the fact that you are the person who is not in a relationship and single on the show, what's dating like for you? I feel like in Atlanta,
Speaking of the
it's
hoe.
just a wild, lawless land when it comes
Yeah.
to dating. Is this accurate? Is that the
Yeah.
experience that you have? Tell us about it.
Not personally. I honestly, I had been dating people who didn't live in Atlanta for like the
Mm,
last year. I just
cheat
started
code.
dating. Yeah, I just started like going on dates with people who live here
Mhm.
recently. And a lot of it is because I don't do apps. I don't go on the apps. I'm not really interested in the apps. So I only meet people in person. And I
Mhm.
hadn't really been going out in Atlanta until recently. And then also I'll be falling in love like quick as hell. And so if I'm only going on dates with people that I've already met in person, that I have vibed with, I'm definitely falling in love with them 2 weeks flat. So
So
I'll be
funny.
like in
Not this being a measured timeline. Like,
Right.
let me check my
I
calendar and how many days this has been.
no, for real. I've had to like temper myself to be like, all right, it's been 2 weeks. Yes, I am in love. No, I'm not gonna say
No, not this time.
it. Exactly.
We're gonna get to 4 weeks.
Exactly. We got it
That's hilarious.
right. Right.
And I
Gotta
didn't
get the
even think
part.
about it. You date like long distance dating in Atlanta is funny because of the airport being able to pretty much take you almost
To
everywhere, right?
anywhere,
Yeah.
It's
anywhere
anywhere
Yeah.
in
instantly.
Atlanta.
Almost a direct
So,
flight everywhere you want
yeah,
to go.
to everywhere. So get it.
Literally.
Smart. Smart.
Literally.
But
Yeah.
so far, your Atlanta dating in person, where do you go? What do you like about dating in Atlanta?
Man, I don't know yet. There's so many hot black lesbians here.
It's
I'll
true.
Mhm.
say that. They're so
They are
hot.
stunning.
I usually am not a person that dates like more masculine of center folks.
Mhm.
But I do like present more femme, especially when I go out.
Mhm.
So the studs have been trying to holler, and I've been like, maybe you
You're
might
like
be,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
You might be on the show. So because they're so hot, like they're so fucking hot, and that's really nice.
Hmm.
There's a plethora of beautiful black lesbian women here, and you don't have to guess. They're all gay. They're all gay.
Just each and every one of them,
Like
wherever you
Yeah.
go.
it's one of the things that I appreciate about Atlanta is like the aura of queerness that surrounds people when you're questioning it is actually
Hmm.
accurate. Like you look and
Yeah.
you're like, no, you are queer, even if it's one of the most high femme people. I stop and I'm like, no, no, I
Yeah.
picked up the scent. The trail is
Yeah.
hot. You are
Yeah.
absolutely. And then you go and 2 seconds later, you see her make out with a stud, and I'm like,
Knew
there it
it.
is. There
Knew
it
it.
is. We love to
Yeah.
see it. Love to have
Yeah.
these
That's
assumptions be
lovely.
correct.
Yeah. And the other thing is that like you can be high femme and queer and only hang out in queer spaces in Atlanta.
Mm.
Whereas like other places, the high femme girls, they're trying to fit in with their straight friends. They feel more comfortable like in straight spaces. But here, like the girls are gay as hell. They're only going to gay places, but they're like super femme, you know?
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
That is
definitely
it's really great.
giving,
So
you
it might be
know?
number two. Atlanta might be number two
It
soon.
could
I
be
know
number
it could
two.
be
You know,
two.
we
We're
still
gonna
got to test
wait
out some
two
stuff.
weeks and
Got to,
Yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
I'm in
Yes.
love right now. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Oh,
Um,
It's like,
it's
how
been
long has it been?
it's been 4 weeks. I haven't said it
wow.
either. I'm not gonna say it.
Wow. How'd y'all meet? Or I
Man, if
guess
I
start
said
from
it,
Ah,
specific
everybody's gonna
details. I was like,
know.
wait, okay. Right.
take us
Specific
take us
details.
through the high level journey. What did
Right.
you? How about this? How about this? Did you approach or did she
Yeah,
approach?
I approach. I always do. I'm like super extroverted. So
Hmm.
I go out and I see somebody and I just approach them and I say anything, whatever comes to my mind.
Wow.
And this girl, I posted about it actually. I had went up to her at a party because I was like, you look exactly like Solange. And she guessed that I was from Ohio somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And then her best friend who she was there with had the same birthday as me. And we were
Oh,
just
wow.
like, you know, being a lesbian, like any little
Little things. It's just the stars align.
like
You're just
Y'all
like,
parked in
we're
the same
meant to
parking
we're
be,
meant
lot.
to be.
right?
Meant to be.
Like, what?
We're
Huh?
meant to be like,
Yep.
ah. But then, and I didn't remember because I was lit. We were both lit, I think. I didn't remember if I got her number or not. But the crazy thing is, whenever I meet somebody, we vibe, I get their number, and then I take a selfie with them so that I can save their
Mm.
picture. Or if I gave them my number, I'll take my selfie and so they can save my picture. But I was like, oh, I didn't get her number. I like remembered her name and I looked in my phone, but I didn't, nothing came up. So I posted about it and I like commented in the party that we met at on their page, like, hey, does anybody know who
Oh
this
my
girl
gosh,
is?
just
Like we had this
Misconnection.
Oh
conversation.
wow, our
Yeah.
little millennial hearts. Oh my god, old asses.
Like joy.
Misconnection.
And
Oh,
then somebody was like, oh, I witnessed this entire conversation.
so funny.
And they
I
were
love
like,
queer folks.
yeah, they were like, yes, Ohio, I witnessed this all like this whole
Oh.
conversation.
Again, the way that black folks will
Yeah.
nickname you in an instant.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
that's another reason to be extroverted because somebody was like, "Oh no, I remember this."
Yes,
Yes.
Like,
yes,
so,
yes. You always have a witness. So then they found her, and then she was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for you too." Like, and I was like, "Oh my God." So then a couple of days later, we went to my friend gave me tickets to Cowboy Carter because she couldn't go.
mm,
She called me. The show was at 8 o'clock. She called me at 6:30. Like, do you want these tickets? And I was like, no. Are you fucking serious? I've already seen Cowboy Carter, and I'm never gonna make it on time. But she sounded so sad. She just couldn't sell the tickets. She couldn't get rid of them. She was like, So I was like, all right, I'll take them. And then I asked this girl to go, and I thought she was. I knew for sure she was gonna be like, no, it's too late. But she was like, yeah, I'll go. So we went to Cowboy Carter like 3 days after we
wow.
met. So now it's been a month and I'm in
Mm.
love. So
Yes. To be fair, that's a
The
pretty
best
full
meet cute.
story in a month. That's a pretty good month. The
Best meet cute
yeah,
misconnection. Cowboy
ever.
Carter, 90 minutes. Like
Honestly,
this message gonna explode. It's like
no
that.
lie. If I ended up at a Cowboy Carter concert with somebody, we are getting married.
Yeah,
yeah.
at at least
Like,
engaged.
like
Like,
instantly. Like that is if somebody called me and said, "Hey, I have a free ticket to take you to
Right.
Cowboy Carter. Can you be ready in the next 30 minutes?" I'd be like, "What are you talking about? I'm dressed. I'm outside." Also, make
yeah.
sure to book the venue for our wedding right after. What do you
Right.
mean?
Go together real bad. Send
What
out
do you
those save
mean?
the dates.
Mama Tina is gonna officiate. It's gonna be great.
That's
Exactly.
so funny.
The crazy thing, my friend who gave me the tickets, I told her like, if we get married, you're gonna be my maid of honor because it is giving like, yeah, we're getting married after this.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
that's a good story.
That's the best
great meet
story.
cute. That's all I fucking need. Dating is so
Wow.
stressful to me, but I will create a magical moment in a hot ass second. And it's
Okay,
been created. So
look at you.
What's a
Wow.
valuable thing? And maybe you were always this extroverted and assertive to approach women, but like, were you always that way? And what tips do you have for people who aren't there?
I have always been extroverted. There was a time in my life where I tricked myself into thinking that I was shy, but it wasn't that. It was just that I
Yeah.
wasn't around the people that I, needed to be around. Or I just didn't see myself the way that like I truly am. But I do have foolproof step by step method. If you are not extroverted or you're having trouble approaching people, I think the biggest thing people get afraid of is rejection. And so I don't think you should go up to people being like, hey, do you want to date me? No, you got to butter them up like a freshly warmed dinner roll. So what I always do is first give them a compliment. Just pick anything and don't be like you're gorgeous. You can
Mm,
if you're feeling froggy, but even if you're like, oh my God, I love your dress. I love your shirt. Your glasses are so cute. Wow, look at your hair. Oh my God, you smell amazing. something that's going to break down their like barrier. Because most people,
Mm-hmm.
when you're out, you're like kind of on guard, especially women. You like to go out and look nice, but sometimes people can be weird. So most of us have our guard up. So you want to like kind of break that guard down. And then if you compliment a woman on what she's wearing, she's always going to tell you where she got it from, or she's going to say, I got it on sale. And then now you've started a conversation that you weren't even expecting to have. And you got to be able to like, if you really are interested in somebody, the interest is the word to think about. You got to be interested. Show genuine interest by asking a follow up question. If she doesn't offer where she got that outfit, ask her, where did you get it from? If she does offer, maybe say, oh, wow, I shopped there so much. Have you ever been to this location? Because they got, you know, such something different. I don't know. Follow up question is always, and then now the chick is looking at you in the eyes, smiling. Now she's asked you a question. Now you're like, oh shit, it's been 10 minutes. I gotta go. But can we exchange numbers
Mm-hmm.
or information, Instagram, whatever's gonna make you comfortable. But you have to follow up. You gotta text that
Mm-hmm.
number. You gotta hit up them DMs. Otherwise, it's just gonna die if you don't. You just got
It's
to
the
be
follow up.
bold. Yeah. If
Mm-hmm.
somebody has stood and talked to you for a number of minutes, you can kind of sure that they're interested in talking to you at least a little bit more.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll find out through more of that conversation if they're interested in more than just a conversation. Don't be afraid to like take it slow. And I guess you kind of just got to get over the fear of rejection at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
love that.
happen.
It's a good
Honestly,
ebook, by the way.
truly, because it's like the start is just as important as the follow up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what people always forget. That's something that I get to talk about with work. But yeah, I feel like that's fantastic advice. Well, let's go ahead and give some more kind of advice. Maybe not really. I don't know. But let's go ahead over to our bad queer opinions, because what type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? So, Tribble, very excited to have you here for this segment. As you know, we're going to go through, Kris and I will share our bad queer opinions. Please feel free to follow up, ask questions, judge, whatever. It's a safe space until it's not. And I will go ahead and kick us off. Okay, my bad queer opinion. Was thinking about this because I was talking to friends, and I've had more friends that I've made more straight friends lately,
Mm.
but ones who have previously dabbled in the dark arts but haven't like committed to the dark arts, aka queerness, in any way,
Mm.
shape, or form. They're like, hey, maybe I've hooked up with somebody or I've done something, or they've thought about it but they haven't acted on it. This is the range of people I have met recently. And I know that this may not be for the folks who are listening, but if you need this soundbite for a friend or a colleague, just in general, this is for you. So, any of the women who are considering dabbling in the dark arts, know that it's not zero to eating coochie.
If you
Each
don't want
time,
it to be.
okay, like it could be,
If you don't want
but
it
for the
to
most part,
be.
when you're stressed, like these, every time they come out, each time I hear someone talking about who's thinking about dating women, they just think they automatically start with, I go on a date, and at the end of the date, my mouth is on your pussy, and I don't know if I can eat pussy. And I'm like, I don't, do you like immediately eat dick? Because I don't think you do. I feel like you get to know the person and you go on a few dates and then you build up to stuff. But even then, I'm like, do you not understand that there's a range of how you can hook up with women as well? And you don't have to dive
Yeah.
face first into the puss puss. So just so
Yeah.
you know, it is not zero to coochie. We are not
Yeah.
playing Zero to Hero from Hercules. There's a lot of stuff that can go in play for you to figure out if you are even interested in trying it that way. Or you could end up in a relationship where you don't even have to do that because the person just wants to do that. The
Yeah.
options are limitless. So don't limit yourself just because you're terrified to go from 0 to 100 and you're not putting any of the in between in there.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. I think, yeah. I think that also the women who are thinking about dabbling also need to realize that while dick might be seem like the ideal situation for penetrating your vagina, fingers are amazing.
Mm,
Don't knock getting
Don't knock
fingered.
them.
mm.
Thank you.
Don't knock the strap on. I've had plenty of first timers be like, no, I need the real dick. I don't really want no. And then I'll be like, well, if you ever want to try it, and they'll be like, okay, let's try it. And they'll be like, wow. Yeah, because your coochie works how it works.
Yeah.
it's not it's not discriminating on the phallic object.
Okay.
It
Don't knock
doesn't.
that.
I feel
It's
like
done.
that needs to just be
Creative.
repeated. It is not discriminating on the phallic object. It just recognizes that it is a phallic object.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't
It's also
knock
the
it.
thing of the extremes where it's just like that's not how, and it doesn't automatically mean I'd even want you to eat my coochie. Like it's not even like we got to just even see. It's not. It doesn't happen that quickly most of the time. So
Yeah.
like they're thinking in the extremes of like this is what that means, and it's like it's literally not. So
Yeah, because
yeah,
you don't even know what you're doing. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I definitely don't want anybody's teeth near my soft vagina skin who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
You trying to chomp my clitoris off? That would be That'd be the worst day of my life. I don't want
It
that to happen.
can be very awful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's take our time. You know what I'm saying? I'll be glad to
Yeah.
demonstrate a few times before you will be
Yes.
required
Yeah. Yeah,
to
certainly
return the
something we don't
favor.
rush into with y'all. Y'all are new. Like it's just, we do.
Comes with a warning
But
label.
yeah, yeah, it
On
does. We're just gonna just not get down there, Tiger.
Uh-uh.
So let's just yeah,
Chill.
cool. So I don't really have a bad queer opinion. I have an actual community note that we'll do Tribble from time to time. I watched the Laverne Cox Olay and Friends video this past Sunday that came
Oh,
out. And I just want to say I appreciate a legend that will fuck up but can
yeah.
be held accountable, you
Yeah.
know? Because that unprompted video that Laverne Cox put out,
Very
where she was
unprompted.
lovingly reminiscing about dating a white MAGA cop, that I think we all were like, what the, where did
Based in
this
New
come from?
York too.
Based in New York. It was just all just really a weird video all around. But she joined Olay and Friends with Hope Giselle, Dominique Morgan, Cap Black, Deshaun L. Harrison, and Quay Tan. And it was a really good conversation. And like when done right, like accountability panels can be great, especially when it's someone who's like willing to receive the criticism from a tough but loving place. So, and it also opened up some like nuanced POVs and experiences I didn't think about. And yeah, I'd recommend everybody check it out if you haven't. It's on Olay and Friends YouTube. But yeah, I really liked that whole conversation and most of it. There was one panelist that had like unnecessary smoke on there, but as a
I
whole,
was
it
gonna
was a
have
great
fun.
conversation. Yeah, and that's gonna happen. So,
Yeah. I think all the smoke for Laverne Cox was unnecessary, honestly.
that's a bad word, Benny.
I feel like we often date horrible people.
Yeah.
We've all got a horrible person in our past, and it might not be a cop or a Trump lover, but it's somebody we knew good and goddamn well we shouldn't have been dating, you
Hmm.
Yeah.
know? And we did it anyway. And a lot of times it's just a person who harmed us and not didn't necessarily harm the communities that we're a part of. But I also think about the trans women that I know who are just like wanting to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And the predicaments. I knew a trans girl who was definitely getting scammed by a Nigerian, um, because she thought that this man was in love with her and he was trying to use her as like a money mule, where he was like, scamming money from other people and then getting her to put it in her bank account and then transfer it to him type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucked because I'm like, you're one of the smartest people that I know. There's no way you don't understand that this is a scam.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of times our like desperation for love and companionship and love out loud, like
Yeah.
put yourself in a trans woman's shoes.
Yeah. And that's actually what Laverne kind of it did explain. She didn't know his politics for like the first year or so of them dating, but just also mentioning like that was one of the best like love affairs I had. Like this person did treat me very well. Mentioned her past dating history. So and then the others echoed that on the panel. So it was a great conversation, but also opened up to like what you said, Tribble. Like we people date a lot of horrible people, and so even to be held accountable, I appreciated Laverne Cox opening herself up to that. And yeah, I would love more of those when done right. Again,
Yeah.
I don't want some bad musty ass panels that they throw together. Like it has to be done right. So
Yeah. I think my bad queer opinion is that lesbians aren't cool. I'm really tired of it.
aren't cool.
No, we're not cool. We're not
Okay.
cool at all. There's a lot of like discourse about how gay men don't hang out with lesbians. And it's because we're not fucking cool, man. We're not cool. We just started getting cool because people like Chapel Roan. But the only reason why gay men like Chapel Roan is because Chapel Roan is a lesbian who wants to be a gay man. And they're like, yeah, you know? And
Okay.
also, all the cool lesbians can't be white women and studs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kristen Stewart is not hot. And the fact that we don't recognize that as a community, it makes us uncool. Gay men have created culture that has permeated, the LGBTQ space, and it's gotten into straight spaces and like overall society. The girls are saying, clock that T. And they're
The
saying,
wrong.
yeah, they're saying
wrong
clock
finger.
that T. First of all, that's not a phrase. And then they're using a finger motion that's also part of ballroom culture.
And they're not even
And the
using the right
wrong one.
finger.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not using
Like
the
they're
right
doing it
finger.
like a
all
chirp.
together.
And it's not like get it together. The least you could do.
But their desperation to be as cool as gay men are, gay black men, it shows you just like how cool gay black men are. Nobody has ever done anything like a lesbian. Nobody's ever been like, flannel is in. Like, nobody's done that. I guess the only thing that people have done like lesbians is like try to date women. Like, try to
No
be
credit for anything.
bisexual. Like, no, we're not cool enough. I'm really sick of it. We got to get our shit together. We got to knock some of these cool white lesbians off their fucking pedestal because they're not cool either. And we got to be fucking cooler as a people.
Like, how far behind are we? Like, what are we looking at? Like,
We're
to
generations
we can't
behind.
even close that cool generation
Damn.
gap. No.
No.
Damn.
Think about the lesbians that like we look up to. It's like Audre Lorde. We look up to like dead lesbians.
Legends.
The Dead Lesbian
But yes,
Society.
yeah, they weren't. Yes, they weren't getting them. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Nobody
But
like
to be fair to them, they, in their deaths, like they became popular. Like a lot of the things they were saying and doing, like, maybe we age like wine in our coolness because,
yeah,
black lesbians,
yeah.
So,
I could accept that. I could accept that. And maybe we're not meant to affect the culture until much later, once we've aged to perfection.
yeah. We also need to come out. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
black lesbians that are just not out, or queer folks on our
Yeah.
side that really could lead the charge. Like once you find out, it's like, oh
I'm
shit,
still waiting
just
for
like
you,
me.
Missy Elliott.
Missy,
Still waiting.
It's right there.
Still
It's
waiting.
right there.
Queen
Look at the
Latifah waited
boost we got
forever.
from Queen
The
Latifah.
Brat waited.
That was
Niecy
a
Nash.
boost. We did get Niecy Nash.
Niecy
We got a
Nash,
little
we did
boost
get
there.
Niecy. Yeah,
we got
we
a little
did.
boost there. By
We
the way,
did.
you're a Delta and D9. I did want to ask you about your D9 queer experience, and is it getting better for you?
Yeah, I think it's getting better for queer undergraduate D9 folks. we had a line cross, I think 2021, because our chapter got suspended for like 10 years. So they came back 2021 or 22. And there's a
Shit.
stud on their line. There's a full
Yeah.
blown fucking stud. When
Wow.
I crossed in
That's beautiful.
2008, my line sisters was like, "Don't tell anybody you're gay because we don't want people to be like, all the deltas are gay." I'm like, "All right, that's cool." But now, where are we, like 16 years out? Like more of my line sisters are now queer. People are just like discovering their queerness, being open to it a little bit more, and the people around us, I would say they've always had love for us. There's always going to be your homophobic
Yeah.
people, especially in the Black community.
Mhm.
But now that we got Queen
Queen
Latifah,
Latifah.
uh,
We got it. We got
Telling
it.
I
you.
think I feel like Delta Sigma Theta is the gay sorority now. Like,
It is. Y'all
It
are.
let
has
it
to
be
be.
known.
It
Let
has
it
to be.
fucking be known.
I was proud of
Yeah.
y'all did. My wife was upstairs listening to y'all's what the thing in DC that y'all did. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, anyways, she like screamed and I'm at work like, yo, what's happening? And she was like, we got Queen Latifah. And I was like, what? like,
It was the proudest
okay, like,
moment
I
it's like,
of
love
my
okay.
this.
I
life.
did say congratulations. That is a big get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that, but
Huge.
I was just like, she like literally screamed like, y'all won the lottery. But I guess as a black queer person, that kind of was like, no, that's pretty cool to get Queen
Truly it
Latifah as a
is because
honorary.
yeah, being a part of a Black female organization, you
Mhm.
have to distance yourself from queerness. When we were coming up in college, um you really had to split yourself into two or even
Mm.
three. Like your Blackness was never aligned with your queerness. And that was tough. It was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really hard to find community, in those spaces. So now that we have Queen Latifah in the mix, even though I don't think Queen Latifah has ever said exclusively that she's queer, like everybody knows that she is. She's got a
Mhm.
wife. Everybody's like acknowledging that. They're going on weird throuple dates with Megan Thee Stallion. We're
Yeah,
like, bitch, oh,
she's
you're
in there
gayer
as
than
a
we thought, honey.
possibility
Mhm.
models.
We
okay,
Mhm.
never
gay, gay,
knew,
gay.
girl.
Okay,
Yes, gay,
yes,
gay, gay, bitch. Because
yes.
I know only one type of couple that's going to take a single woman out to dinner to slurp on an oyster. And that's the
yeah,
kind that's trying to have a threesome.
yeah. That
So,
was very revealing. I don't think I've even heard her wife's voice until that video, and I was like,
oh, yeah.
wow,
And
wow,
I
wow, wow.
still didn't because I was
yeah,
mesmerized.
your shit. But yeah, we just need to come out. So we're
Yeah.
out there. I just think a
Yeah.
lot of us need to come out. Like
Yeah.
then it'll close. I mean, we're not gonna close the gap. Like black gay boys, like they got it. Like,
They got
Yeah.
it. They fucking
Yeah.
got it. And
dolls got it. Like it's hard. It's tough. It's tough
I
competition.
love it for the girls. I love it for my Butch Queen sisters. Um, but I really want it for us as lesbians as well. Like I want to walk outside or to get on social media and see people mimicking lesbian culture
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
a way that they've never done before, and I want to be proud of it. But we are currently not doing anything that I'm proud of.
And that's a true
That's
ass statement.
that's it. Every time we
We are
take a couple
not.
steps forward,
It's
something
like we do some
something
good stuff.
happens.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
has to happen. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
this
we
was a
gotta.
great, great one.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
conversation around it. Thank you for that.
Man.
Wow. Well,
God. We aren't
what a way
cool,
to wrap
huh?
up the show.
It's like, God damn it.
Wow. We're like, wow, look at that. What a
We're
way
not
to
cool.
wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. Kris, I know you're going to sit with that for a moment. It's okay. We'll
I
process
know.
it.
I'm
But
like, damn, we're not, huh? So
it's all right. We're going to make it. We're here together.
mm,
Hey, she already
pulling
told
on
us that
our
we're the Oscars of
Literally.
accepting the thing. So we are helping the
no,
representation, friend.
no.
We're
I
doing
hope
it.
this gets
Okay.
out. There's
Just know what you're doing. Just know what's
yeah.
happening. My shout out this week goes to the group As You Are, which is a safe and celebratory space for the LGBTQIA plus community based in DC. It is a cafe by day, bar and dance lounge by night. They host a lot of different events. I came across them because they were hosting this like queer singles mixer.
Mm.
And it was for older queers. It was like
Oh,
anybody who
nice.
was like, I think it was like 50 plus So it was a whole queer singles mixer for them. And that's how I came across them. So I love that. I love seeing more of these interactive spaces that are generational and not just party hard, party harder, and party the hardest. So be sure to follow and support them at As You Are DC on IG.
That's cool. My shout out is to this new NatGeo docuseries, Hurricane Katrina: Race Against Time, which is a series that looks back on the storms, the lessons learned from it, and why we can't forget the tragic aspects of it's a man-made disaster, the fallout from it. So this is executive produced by Ryan Coogler and directed by Tracy A. Curry. It's on Hulu. I'm like 3 episodes in, and I would recommend everybody watch it. The end of this month is the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, so there's a lot to learn from it and pause and reflect. So
that's really dope. I'm gonna give a shout out to 2 community spaces for Black queer women. One is Queer Aunties. They've been doing some really dope 30 and up parties where me and the rest of you old girls can feel young again. They started in LA and they travel. So they've been to Atlanta, New York, DC, and I'm sure there'll be more cities coming up. If you want Queer Aunties in your city, make sure you hit them up and let them know. And then another LA organization, party, programming space is Club Cleo. Shout out to the Club Cleo. Denasia and Cindy throw that party, and they're just really dope Black lesbians who are always on the pulse of what's going on socially. So if you're in LA, check out a Club Cleo event.
All right. And then for everybody to be able to follow and support you, where should they go?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads at Tribs the Cool, TRIBBZ the Cool. And you can find me at tribsthecool.com if you're interested in anything podcasting related.
That's also hilarious that we just had a conversation about lesbians not being cool and your Trib's the Cool.
Exactly. I'm trying to normalize in people's minds, like, lesbians are cool. It's
you
right
might
there
be
in
the
the
cool
name.
lesbian, Tribble. I encourage everybody to follow Tribble. She is such a fun follow on Instagram, like dead ass.
Yeah.
So maybe you are the cool Tribble. Maybe you
Yeah.
could bring us through this dark time. Let's get a little closer. Like the fate you're holding like Black straight love in one hand with the producer,
Yeah.
and then maybe Black queer coolness, lesbian coolness. You know?
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
a lot.
good idea.
Mhm.
You
There
know
it
what the
is.
problem is there though? Like, because I do so much on the straight side, like my like straight people who want to see me be successful, they're like, you got to put the gay shit away.
Never.
It's just
Not
not
once.
cool enough.
Not once, not never.
They're like, hey man, you got, and it has nothing to do with them like being able. They're just like, it's
No.
not fun. Like it's
Yeah,
not
they're
cool.
like,
Yeah.
it's not cool
Damn.
enough. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Damn.
too funny.
Yeah. We got to step our
Wow.
pussy up. We got to step our collective pussy up, lesbians. We are dry as hell.
I'm hollering.
Our pussy is in perimenopause.
Ah!
We need to get back to the
Why?
the
Since
times.
I
we
learned
were
that
licking.
term, I've been like, am I?
Right, you're just checking
Everything
all
I
the
read about it,
time.
I'm like,
Any
am
hot
I
flashes,
though?
just like,
Yeah,
is
it's
it
just,
time?
oh
Is
shit,
it?
I'm here.
You're like, no, they
So,
just turned the air conditioning off.
it
It's
just,
okay.
it's
It's
just
okay.
hot
You're fine.
today. It's
You're
okay.
fine.
It's just hot. So,
Exactly.
well, Tribble, you know you got to come back on the show, like
Oh,
at some
absolutely.
point.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
we got to
looking forward
record
to
it as we do.
Yeah.
For legal
Yeah,
purposes.
that's your contract.
You?
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Got
Just want to
that.
be sure that you know.
easy.
That was so quick and so giving.
quick.
So that's it. That's the wrap for the show. Tribble, we thank you so much for coming on the
Thank you
podcast. This was
so
such a good
much for
time.
having me.
Of course. And for everybody else tuning in, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, we will see you next week. Take care.
Can we talk about things? I'm sorry that I'm